Now let's bring in the consumer analyst at Vertiva Capital, Ifedayo Olowo-Boroku, to look at the performance of the markets so far. Good morning, Ife. Thank you very much for joining us. So how has sentiment on the Nigerian bourse fared so far since the third quarter earnings season started?
Well, sentiment has remained sort of lukewarm on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Most would have expected that as the earnings season ramped up, you would see more activity, more positive reaction to the results. However, you see that investors remain cautious. They continue to cherry pick. Like you said, they are hunting for bargains on certain stocks. So focus remains on valuation. Ever since the rally that happened sort of for 2-3 months, where stock prices significantly shot up, you've seen investors more cautious. So it's still been mixed sentiment on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in the month.
So overall, how have earnings from different sectors come in so far?
Overall, earnings have actually come in positive on a general level. Earnings releases have either coming in line with expectation or beat expectation. In fact, it's not too surprising. The H117 results were also similar to this, and overall the operating environment has still remained stable. So expectedly, earnings have been positive. For the consumer goods and industrial goods sectors, you see that there's less cost pressures compared to last year. Those particular sectors are very dependent on foreign exchange. So compared to last year, it's been a recovery year, just like the economy for the companies in these sectors. For the banking sector, you also see the banking names continue to report strong earnings, higher yield on assets, and higher non-interest income as well, has supported earnings from the banking sector. Overall, earnings have been positive and have come in positively.
Now, can you say that the positive earnings have been wholly priced in by investors?
To some extent, I would say, like I said, the H117 results were already significantly positive, and we saw a rally after the H117 results. So to some extent, investors had been expecting this, and like I said, you see them more cautious with valuation, and I feel like the positive earnings have not, that is part of the reasons why the earnings have not sparked such a rally like we saw earlier in the year. You continue to see them cautious. The reaction has been more towards negative surprises. So wherever you've seen a company report negative below expectation, just a few actually, you've seen investors actually react faster to that compared to the positive results that we have seen.
Now, specifically speaking to the positive sentiment in the market yesterday, should we expect to see that persist for the rest of the week?
For the rest of the week, like I said, sentiment has been mixed. Yes, there was a bullish bias yesterday, but you continue to see that there is volatility. Like I said, investors are hunting for bargains. So we believe that the mixed sentiment will persist. For today's trading session, we could see the all-share index add more points. However, for the rest of the week, sentiment should be mixed. We would see the all-share index dip back into the red a few times, maybe close slightly flat, but as more earnings releases come in, you would expect that investors will trade cautiously and react to those earnings accordingly.
So how positive should we expect earnings from the other companies yet to release their results, and how will the market react to that?
On a general note, earnings are expected to still be positive from the other companies that are yet to release. We expect a bunch of consumer goods names to release before the end of the week. Those earnings are expected to come in higher year on year, in line with expectation. Most of them, you definitely see some stocks, bring in negative surprises that analysts were not expecting or whatnot. But on a general note, you expect those to be positive. Banks as well. We've seen a few tier 1 banks release results. We expect more of them to release. A number of the industrial goods sector good stocks have already released results. Dangote Cement, WAPCO, Lafarge, and CCNN. So that sector, we see most of those earnings have already been released. The downstream oil and gas sector is also, earnings are supposed to come in from there. Though that particular sector, we might not necessarily see a strong positive earnings release from those stocks. The sector continues to be weighed by several challenges. So, but on a general note, earnings are expected to be positive.
Right. So what particular stock sectors or stocks should we look out for going to the final trading sessions in this month?
Well, we should look out for the companies that release results. We should see how their results come in, not just year on year, but also in line with or what analysts expect. I also think we can look out for the mid to large, the mid to small cap stocks that may not have necessarily rallied a lot in this time period. If their earnings come out better than the market expects, you might see some stronger positive reaction to that. As we said, investors are looking for bargains.
Right.
We can use NASCON as an example to that, where they release positive results and stock prices have significantly rallied.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Ifedayo Oluokporoku, consumer analyst at Vertiva Capital.